Krause here. Got a cool one for you today. Everyone in my gym gets taught that punches can come from 6 basic angles, right? Both of your hands can come straight, both of your hands can come from the sides, and both of your hands can come from underneath, right? But that's not really true because there is a 7th angle, all right? And that 7th angle comes from the top down, right? And we call that shot an overhand, in my case, an overhand right. And it's a difficult shot to master, but it's a punch that belongs in your repertoire, all right? So stay tuned and I'm gonna show you what's up. So special guest, Aleem jumakhonov is gonna come and help us out mastering this shot. And this is one of his better shots, so who better than to help us out today? And like I said, it does come from the top down, and it is called an overhand, but it's somewhat of an illusion. A lot of people, when they start learning this thing, they start acting like they're throwing a baseball or something like that and coming at this very extreme arc. But that's not what really happens. What happens is, let's say, Aleem and I, who are both about the same size, obviously I'm much more handsome, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my body, and this fist that is at his face height is going to remain there. And the illusion is going to happen because as my body drops, it seems like it's going high, but it's really not. It's that my torso goes down and the punch whips behind me. Now, if Aleem's doing what he's supposed to be doing and defending shots, it's really darn hard to hit him with this kind of punch. So you have to be inventive and you have to be creative on how you set it up, all right? First, let me put the pads on so you can see the master himself throw this shot. Yeah. Look at those knuckles, bud. Nice shot. Good contact. One more. So one good method that I have people in the gym do to help learn this difficult shot is with this line, all right? So I'm right-handed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand on the right side of the line, and I'm going to butt up right against it. I can't get any closer. What I'm going to do is, like I was saying before, I'm going to drive my torso downwards, and that's really the power force of this shot because the shot whips behind me. When I throw this shot correctly, I don't even see it land because it kind of lands behind my back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to whip my torso down, and I'm going to hook around the line. And that line is going to help be the barometer of where I want this punch to go. Hook. Hook. And notice also, like I said before, this is about at my chin height, and my fist really never gets higher than that. It's that my body goes down, making it seem like I'm doing this very exaggerated arc, when in fact I'm not. Hook. 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 You know what I like to imagine? Like a slam dunk contest, and those basketball players that dunk and then hang themselves in the hoop. I don't know if you're a basketball fan, but that's a good image to put in your head. So like I said, this punch kind of breaks the rules in terms of being kind of wide and arcing, and if you don't set it up properly, you're going to have a very difficult time of landing it. So what you need to do is you need to figure out ways to distract your opponent. One way that you'll see a lot of people do it is they'll be boxing their opponent, and I'll be throwing the punches at Aleem, and what I'll do is I'll start jabbing to his body. I'll start throwing straight rights to his body. Boom. Jabs to his body. Boom. Straight rights to his body. And I'll get him used to this. And he'll start bringing that guard down. And then eventually, I can change that level like I'm going to go for that body blow, but instead, bring it into a straight right hand, all right? Another way me personally would get this shot off a lot when I was competing was as a counter shot versus the jab. And what would happen is my opponent would throw the jab, and I would slip to the inside and throw that shot. And a lot of people, when they start boxing, they think that when I slip to the outside is the only time I get off that right hand, but that's not true at all. So this will happen off the inside slip. Coming up and over as I follow that kind of whipping motion of my fist. So some things to remember when you're practicing that zone, like all punches, once you start throwing this shot, your knuckles should point at what you intend on hitting. So this right big two knuckles once my torso starts whipping down, should always be aiming towards what I want to strike. I don't want to slap at my opponent and land with this side of my hand. And I also see this mistake a lot. I see a lot of people turning their fist into an odd position. What's going to happen there is you're going to hit a guy hard with that shot on the top of his head, and you're going to really damage your hand. So you still want to land a punch with your fist parallel to the ground, all right? So I'll bring it back to a real time. See me from this side, dropping that body down and whipping it behind me. So that torso drops and the shot ends up behind me. And when you land the shot properly, you won't see it land because it's going to be behind your back, all right? Anyway, practice this, introduce this into your arsenal, and of course, like and subscribe.